Welcome back to the Mike Al Show. Today I'm going to be talking about a situation in the NBA, college basketball, and NFL contracts. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the situation in the NBA. So Ja Morant yesterday was suspended for 2 games because of a video on his Instagram Live of him having a gun inside a nightclub. So that was yesterday. Then today he says that he will not be reinstated or he's suspended indefinitely as the police like search up on it more because he possibly may have had the gun on the plane, and if he had it, he could be looking at a 50-game suspension, which is really bad for the Grizzlies because they were in good situation and Ja Morant has been playing amazing the last 2 years. So that would really hurt them. Next up, I'm going to talk about college basketball, mainly the Big Ten. So Purdue played Illinois on Sunday and Wisconsin Thursday. Wisconsin, it was a tight game. I was not it was not looking good. They were losing with a couple minutes left, but luckily they came out ahead just by a little bit. So that was good. And then against Illinois, up by 24 at halftime. Purdue was. And to only win by 3 points. That's just pathetic. How can you give up 24 points? I mean, Illinois, I guess they gave the ball away 11 times in the first half and only 3 the second half. So that helped. So Illinois improved their offense. But still, you should not be up by 24 points and just let a team come back by that. Like, Illinois had good shooters that second half, and Purdue couldn't hit a shot to save their life. What are they going to do in the Big Ten tournament? If you notice, all the teams that win the March Madness and stuff, all the teams that are dark horses, underdogs, whatever, and are good, is because they have a good shooter. Look at the Peacocks last year. They had Dougie, I think his name was, or Doug, the guy with the mustache. He was a good shooter, and that's why they were good. Look at Purdue. They have Zach Edey. They have a big man. He's not going to be able to, when he's getting double teamed the whole game, you can't go double team a guard. I mean, you can, but it's much harder to do, and you leave the rest of the team open, and that's way better than having a double team in the post, because that's much easier to do. And Zach Edey won't be able to hit those clutch shots, won't be able to hit a clutch three when you need it, like the big or teams do in March Madness. So Purdue is not looking good. They're probably more than likely they'll do what they always do: win first round, win 32 round, and then lose in the Sweet 16. Always happens year after year. They're good when they have to play a really bad team, except that year they played Northern Texas and lost. But normally they get to the Sweet 16 and lose because they have no shooting. So it won't be good for them. Next, I'm going to talk about IU against Michigan. I was really, really, really hoping that Michigan would pull away with that game. They had multiple chances, took it into overtime, and just couldn't get it done. They were losing by a lot, but number 25 on IU was an absolute brick. Missed 5 free throws in a row. 4 very clutch free throws at the end of the game. Bricked them all. And Michigan gets the ball in the first overtime with, I think it was like less than 5 seconds. The freshman point guard brings it up, tries throwing it to Hunter Dickinson, who has his back turned, and turned it over, and that was the game. It was pretty bad. But Michigan also had time at the end of regulation to shoot a shot to win the game, but they just couldn't pull it up. So, I mean, it's whatever. Next, I'm going to talk about the Big Ten tournament. So Purdue plays Friday at 11 o'clock versus either Rutgers or Michigan. Those are both 2 very tough games that Purdue will have to face. In general, the Big Ten is tough. But these are probably 2, like a really hard first round game for them to play. Rutgers is known for bringing up upsets in March Madness all the time. But I guess they don't have home court advantage. They'll be in Chicago, so maybe that'll give Purdue a little bit of an upside. And then Michigan's always good at hitting a clutch shot, except versus IU. And sending teams into heartbreak. And yeah, so hopefully they don't lose. And if they don't lose and they win, they will play. So Wisconsin and Iowa, or Wisconsin and Ohio State play, and then the winner of that game plays Iowa, and then the winner of that game goes and plays Michigan State, and then the winner of that game plays Purdue if Purdue wins the first game. And then if Purdue wins that, they play in the championship game, most likely against either IU or Northwestern. I really hope it's Northwestern, but in all honesty, I bet Purdue will lose to probably. I think they'll lose to Michigan. I mean, either that or they'll make it and then lose to Michigan State. But yeah, because Michigan State has good shooters and all that fun stuff. Next, I'm going to talk about NFL contracts. So Derek Carr today signed a 4-year, $150 million contract with the Saints. This was a shocker to me because I figured he would go to Tampa, but at the same time, it makes sense. I'd rather go to the Saints because they have a good defense, so he's not going to have to put up a crap ton of points to win a game like he would have had to get in the Raiders. And he has a really weak division. He's not playing Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes and then go out to play Broncos country. So he should do better. I mean, it's not like he put up enough points for them to win those games, even when the defense did hold up. So he's a mediocre quarterback on a mediocre team. But they probably will make the playoffs this year. Well, actually, no. It depends on what Carolina does this offseason. If they go get a quarterback, they might. But if not, then for sure the Saints will. If they can keep Kamara out of jail. Because he's in trials right now of assault and battery charges in Las Vegas from 2 years ago. I don't know why this is all just coming up now. Like, why didn't they try him last year? And yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. And Chris Olave, he did really good last year, so he'll have a good wide receiver. If they keep Michael Thomas, but I highly doubt they keep Michael Thomas because he's always getting injured and he's pretty much getting paid to get surgeries and to rehab and all that fun stuff. So it's whatever. Next, I'm going to talk about Calvin Ridley. So today he was reinstated with the Jaguars. So for the first time as a Jaguar, he can go onto the practice facilities, practice with the team, do off-season training stuff, all that. He's finally done serving his 1-year suspension for gambling. But I think he'll do really good with the Jaguars this year. You're going to have I feel like the Jaguars will be really good this year. You're going to have Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence started looking good after last year. Like, he started doing really good at the end of the season. ETN was doing good. Evan Ingram had the best season ever that he's ever had. Christian Kirk did pretty good last year. So your receiving core is going to be Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram, who they franchise tagged, and then Christian Kirk. That's going to be a really good receiving core, I feel like. And if the Jaguars stay healthy, their defense is pretty good too. They will most definitely make the playoffs. I mean, there's no other good teams in their division. I mean, they made them last year, but they'll actually go farther than just beating the Chargers this year. They barely made the playoffs last year, but this year the Titans are going to be very weak. All they have is Derrick Henry. Tell me who their wide receivers are. Nick Westbrook or whatever the heck his name is. Yeah, exactly. The Colts, they're normal Colts. I mean, depending on what quarterback they go get will depend on their season. If they can go get it, if CJ Stroud turns out good, if they go get him, then they'll be looking good. And then the Texans. The Texans, even if they go get Bryce Young, they'll still suck. It doesn't matter. The Texans are the Texans. They'll always be bad. So it doesn't matter for them. Next, I'm going to talk about Geno Smith. He had a 3-year, $105 million contract with $52 million in his first year. That is good for Geno Smith. He was not a standout player up until last year when he got his comeback player of the year award. He deserved it. He did much better than anybody expected him to do. So good for him. And he'll stay around there for a while. I guarantee what I think they'll do, Seattle, what would be smart of them to do is trade down in the draft to a team looking for a quarterback, get draft picks for like next year and stuff, and then take those draft picks and go draft a quarterback next year or the next year. Because Geno Smith, after this 3-year deal, who knows how much longer he'll be in the league. So they'll probably go get someone, mentor under Geno, all that. So that'll be good. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Lamar Jackson. I have no clue what is taking the Ravens so long to make a contract with him. It's not that hard. Go get him, give him a contract, and give him some wide receivers. That is all this man is asking. I don't blame him for always being hurt when you have to run the ball because you are your team's offense. Their running backs aren't that good. I mean, J.K. Dobbins, he's not bad. He didn't do much. He was hurt a bunch last year, but they need to get, and if they said if needed, they will go franchise tag Lamar Jackson, which is not in their best interest because even though it means he can't leave, it means he has to stay and not on his own willpower to stay. So it's going to make him less friendly with the organization because he's going to probably want to, they'll probably butt heads a lot if he doesn't get a deal. So he should get a deal, and they better make it quickly. Well, thank you. That's all I have for you today. I'm going to have a link for March Madness brackets, which starts March 12th. So make sure you sign up for that because March Madness is the greatest event in sports throughout the year. There's no debate over it at all. And then also fantasy baseball, which we'll do that draft on March 26th, and I'll let you know a time later. Thank you.